Hi everyone. This demo is going to show you how the next generation transformed EMR system, or how do the patient's consultation, or the journals, if they want to look for research and things like that, how can they find the information very quickly. The first one we are going to see is pretty much like if you're walking into an doctor's office, and you want to you wanted to know how they do the consultation, and they try to get as much as information, and then they give you suggested recommendations on what it could be and diagnosis. By any means, this is not a doctor, but this is a system that can actually get the information and have it ready so that the doctor can interact and really diagnose and give us the options. So assuming that if we wanted to transform the existing way of doing, how we have been always doing to the doctor's office, filling forms and things like that. Rather, assume this is a system. It's right now it's chat enabled, but in, in in the real world it should be like voice enabled so that they can talk to it. So I'm going to come to this. It's almost like a virtual nurse or virtual doctor. I'm going to say like, okay, I have severe headache and fever. And the Gen AI is it's like an agentic design is what we have done, and it actually understands behind the scenes how it can actually go back and understand more before it starts giving information out of it. So it's asking me for information, so I can say, my name is Rob Smith, and my age is about 45, and my DOB is 109 1981, and I don't have allergies, and I'm going to enter in. Now I only gave partial information to the model, so the model also, the system behind the scene can understand that I didn't give all the information, and it'll come back and ask for follow-ups. And also we are actually recording this, I mean, we are keeping tab on this information, so that we can actually go back and put everything together. If it is a real system, we can actually do and look up to the patient and grab the current information and also surface that to the doctors. So this could be a game changer, as we don't have to anymore fill forms. We can just talk and move on. Let's wait for it to respond. So pretty much, as it's loading up, the idea behind here is like how can we look at the existing EMR, or I mean the medical, the prescription way of doctor's consultation, and how can we change this, and instead of having it as a super duper behemoth systems, can we have it, how do we completely from scratch, how do we reinvent and reimagine, like imagine a completely a new way of have patients and doctors engagement. That is the idea behind here. Actually, I also have a router in here which actually picks up which model it's going to go after. So you can see it says like, do you have any previous medical history? I can say I don't have any previous medical history. Nothing in, in current medication. No pre-existing conditions. My family has heart disease traditionally. So as you can see, like I mean, it you don't have to go fill in anything. You're just typing in as an information, and then it's asking a follow up to figure out a lot more. I can say my current temperature is 102. um, Headache is constant, and no nausea or vomiting or any other discomfort. So I have been having, how long I've been experiencing the headache and fever. I've been having headache and fever for past 1 day, and no recent illness. The model is going to take this as an input, and it is going to figure out and say like, hey, here are the few things that you might want to look at. And this recommendation is not for an end user. This recommendation would go to the doctor per se. For a demo I'm just showing you here. um, and it actually tells us like, okay, what the doctor can suggest, but at the same time the doctors are going to physically check them, and then they're going to provide instructions. This is just AI generated, so it's just to help them that, hey, here are the symptoms that I got. Now these symptoms, all the history that needed, will go to the doctor. It's usually will go as a JSON object, so we can parse this and either put it in a system behind the scenes, in the medical systems like Epic and others, or we can also create our own way of managing the health records and stuff like that. This is one part of the puzzle. The other part is pretty much like, say for example, you have the doctors, you have symptoms, and the doctors are, um, there are new things that they don't know and they wanted to understand what's happening. They can do a journal search. So this is very similar to what we do, and we call it the rag pattern, which is nothing but like, you don't want the AI giving information out just like that because it has its own memory, but rather we wanted to give information out from the existing journals that it can take from. Journal in the sense, these are medical journals from the medical journals websites. I downloaded few of them. I couldn't download everything, but most of them had like a COVID based research and things like that in the recent days. So if they wanted to understand more about what is happening in the COVID world, they can either go search the search engines, but the search engine might give different answers. But the journals, if we take the journals and create a repository of the journals, we can answer it only from the journal itself, so we can reduce hallucination and we can point it to where it can be. This system is right now, what it is doing is like, it's taking this question that I asked, and behind the scenes it's going back and doing an vector search. We call it embedding space search or cosine similarity or HNSW. And we search the articles, and then it looks through like more than like 30-40 documents at this point. That's why it's taking some time. And it'll take the top 10 documents, bring it back, and then it'll do a semantic re-ranking based on the questions, which ones are more better. And then from that point onwards, what it's going to do is like, it's going to consolidate it, and then make it like a summarized version, and it's going to display to us. uh, it sounds very simple for you, but it's a very powerful system, as it's very hard to go through like 20-30 journals and understanding and reading through. You have to spend a lot of time. But this system acts in between as the expert helper for the doctors, and they can go and they can actually ask for it. And then in I mean, as you see, it takes a little time because I'm using some of the free resources. But if we design it and if it make it performant, then it'll give you information within a minute or 2 minutes or so, which can help help the doctors to read about the journals, and it'll also provide us citations on where it is picking the journals from. So you can actually see like it's not pulling from its own memory, rather it is actually pulling from the journals that we provided. So there is also another advantage here because we can control the uh, documents that are going in, which means we can look at like which documents are good and which documents we should use, and we can actually control that, and that is super helpful. And that is how this the system went in. So now you see the answer came out, and it went through all these journals, and it's giving you some of these links. If you look at it, I mean, I don't think you will be able to view it because it's blocked at this point, public access. But these are all internal links that are within the company itself. And this makes it extremely secure, and the data is not exfiltrating, exfiltration is not happening, or there is no data going into the open source models or the other companies and things like that. These are all deployed in a private, secured space. So as you can see, it gives the option of this is just imagining how the new way of doing patient consultation based on Gen AI. So this is an attempt that we are trying to see how we can transform that patient interaction and doctor interaction and make it very helpful for them. So this is our way of doing this. Thank you for listening in, and very appreciative of your time. Have a great